I wish more and more cars had that. Good morning, people. Hope you're well. This is a different video to my normal ones. I'm up in Germany, or I came up to Germany to go to a friend's birthday party. Landed in Switzerland, rented a car, but I've been driving an EV for a while, quite a while. Just not the Volvo, but another EV. So I took the opportunity to rent a Polestar. Rental companies have started doing EVs as part of their fleet. So I put in a request for a Polestar 2. I was given a long range version. Rather nice, very smooth, quiet at speed, comfortable, solid on the road. German Autobahns, absolutely loved it. The car did, as well as I did. And oodles of power. 300 kilowatt motor apparently, but oodles of power for what you needed to do. Getting out of trouble was an absolute breeze. Set cruise to 110 kmph, and just whenever I needed to, just boosted around trucks and slow traffic, easy as pie. But what's it like living? Now I say living, I've only been in the car about 4 hours, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. The charging experience we'll come on to later on, but we're currently drawing 141 kilowatts from a fast charger in France. So this is the interesting thing about Basel, or Bâle, however you want to say it, depending on where you are, which country you're in. We're from borders France and Germany. So I popped down here to fill up the tank, as you do with a rental car, before I return. And I just wanted to share some initial thoughts about the car. Love the fit and finish. Some really nice attention to detail, not just in the fabric of the car, and by that I mean the touch of the steering wheel, the feel of the seat, stuff like that. Just how it reacts as well. The lane assist, very, very good. Slightly worrying, but also a good thing is the awareness sensor. So if it thinks you're being distracted or losing concentration, it vibrates, chimes, and it goes, take a break, which is really good. It's really good, and I like that feature, and I wish more and more cars had that. Someone's going to pop along and go, yes, all new cars have that. So what I do like about it is that it's got proper actual buttons on the steering wheel, volume, track selection, all that kind of stuff. The other great thing is the really seamless integration of the Google ecosystem into the mechanics, the running of the car. So I was driving back early. I left my house place at 6 o'clock this morning, and I needed to turn the temperature down. And I was driving in a town I didn't know. Needed to concentrate on the road, so I activated Google, and I just said, I didn't even have to press any buttons. I just said the magic words, which I'm not going to say, otherwise it's going to trigger your devices. And I just told the assistant to turn the temperature down, turn the fan speed down, stuff like that. It's just so seamlessly integrated into the car. Now, a lot of new modern cars, the Mercedes of this world, etc., have voice assistants. But this is taking everyday Google know-how and technology and applying it to a car, which is integral to a lot of people's lives. And obviously, I'm actually able to sign in with my own Google ID, store locations, so I was able to navigate quickly. to where I needed to go. I was doing a few stops around the way. Just simple things like that. Sure, Tesla are the market leaders when it comes to the driving experience and kind of the accuracy of what they tell you in terms of range, etc., and all that kind of stuff. I have to say, the Polestar is not far off it. I was tracking the range, and this was saying I had like 380 kilometers range from the time I picked it up. I've driven 100 and I think 160, 170. So I've driven 340 miles, 340 kilometers, and still had 80 kilometers left at the end of it. Okay, I wasn't driving like crazy. I was being fairly cautious, driving below the speed limit, but not too slow. But I had good range, and as it was counting down, it was dropping them in chunks of 10, so that was slightly worrying. But I get a check every time I went about 10k on the dash. I dropped just a few seconds before that. I dropped 10k on the range. So they seem to have a bit of a better algorithm than some of the other EVs, which are pretty much guessometers. Nissan being key amongst them, which is an absolute pain in my life. So Volvo, apologies, not Volvo, Polestar have put together a really, really nice place to live. If I had any gripes about this car, are two. The central console is a little bit, how should we say, inconvenient, particularly for bigger people. When you rest your leg and you're on cruise control down the motorway, you rest your leg along the side, it does get a little bit tiresome after a while. But I think my probably biggest gripe living with it day to day will be the entry and exit experience. And by that I mean the space to get in to the car. For a big person, for a tall person, I'm 6'2", is just not that easy. But then it's probably not designed and catered for tall people. Although having said that, in theory, comes from the from catered for Swedish people who are quite tall. So that would be my only downside. Now, what the Polestar 3 is like, we've yet to see. In terms of an experience, getting in and out of the car, it might be better. I don't know. So those would be my only gripes. But other than that, Polestar have put together a really good. If it wasn't so, and I do apologize. Just one more thing that troubles me in terms of why I wouldn't get a Polestar 2 is you're reliant on a general CCS charging experience, which in the UK, as we've seen over the recent holiday period, has been a nightmare. As and when Tesla open up their charging network to other car manufacturers, then this becomes a serious contender. Entry and exit into the car notwithstanding, but and for the few occasions when I do long distance cruises, the central binnacle being slightly encroaching into the sort of the leg space. Other than that, a really well thought out, well put together, lovely car. If someone said to me, "Yeah, here you go, Paul, have a Polestar for a few months, year," I would learn to live with that and get around these other problems. Would I spend my own hard-earned cash on this? Probably not, for the reasons I mentioned. Charging, particularly on longer journeys, is always going to be a factor for us, for anyone really, and it's the availability and the just the simplicity of access to the charging network from via Tesla that swings it massively in its favor. Having said that, I'm here in France. I rocked up at a supercharger, which has slow chargers as well as fast chargers. This one's billed at 160 kilowatts. It was pulling 141 to start off with. It has now slowed down to 111. But it was simple. When I first looked at it, I thought, okay, I need to have an RFID tag. But then I saw a smart card reader, and I literally plugged the car in, signed into my Apple Pay, put my card up against the reader. It goes, okay, great, fantastic. Started charging. End of story. Simple as, and it's what you want, what you need. So, and this is in a supermarket car park. There are 6 chargers. I think, yeah, more than 6 actually. There's, if I remember correctly, there's 4 fast chargers, and at least 2, if not more, slow chargers. In a regular supermarket in a smallish town in Basel, or actually an outskirt on Basel. So the UK have got a long way to go if they're serious about EV adoption. Let's see what happens there. Okay, I've rambled on enough. If you've listened this far, thank you. If you've got any comments, feel free, let me know. Okay, take care, and I will see you again soon.